I've never been to a beach where you see so many dead fish on the beach.
The big freeze is causing a big stink in Port Aransas. The governor had some big praise for Corpus Christi's Save Our Seniors program. And do you believe in miracles? We've got some high school hoops magic that's going to make a believer out of you.
Get in there.
This is Chris 6 News at 6.
And thanks for joining us, everyone. More on those stories coming up just a little bit later. But first, we begin with team coverage of Governor Greg Abbott's visit to Corpus Christi this morning. He was here to recognize a local vaccination effort that is now the role model for a statewide initiative. Our Javier Guerra joins us now live from station number 18 on Ayers with the details on this. Javi?
Katia, the goal set by Governor Greg Abbott is to have every single senior citizen in the state of Texas vaccinated by the end of March, while using the city of Corpus Christi as an example.
And watching the numbers, it looked like Corpus Christi did a really effective job in being able to constrain hospitalizations.
Governor Greg Abbott applauded the city of Corpus Christi and the fire department on the success of the Save Our Seniors program, now putting in place a statewide program by the same name involving over 1,000 National Guard members.
Some National Guard will be involved in the identification and registration of the seniors in the community to get them on the list to be able to get the vaccine. Other National Guard will be involved in the vaccination process.
Fire Chief Robert Rocha says the program used the city's Meals on Wheels registry list to vaccinate our seniors.
And it really is a good opportunity for communities and municipalities to vaccinate homebound seniors in a way in which it's not too difficult for them.
Rural communities across the coastal bend have become upset with the lack of vaccines, especially for seniors who are homebound or those who can't travel. According to Abbott, help is on the way.
It's absolutely essential that we provide vaccines to what I will categorize as the less populous counties. And we actually have already begun that process with the National Guard.
Chief Nim Kidd with the Texas Division of Emergency Management says they are trying to be as fair and equitable as possible with all 254 counties. Governor Greg Abbott also said today that they are evaluating when and if they will remove all state orders. That's including the mask state mandate. Reporting in front of Corpus Christi Fire Station number 18, Javier Guerra, Chris 6 News. Back to you, Katia.
All right, big news. Thank you, Javi. And Brooks County Judge Eric Ramos says that when it comes to the state's vaccine distribution efforts, his county is the island of the lost. As we reported yesterday, Judge Ramos says rural counties like his are not getting their fair share of vaccines. He expressed his frustration with the state in a Facebook post this morning.
You call them and you talk to them, and the answer they give you, and I'm tired of it, the answer they give you is very simple. Very soon now, we're going to be able to give vaccines to everybody who wants one. Well, when is very soon? Well, in a few months. Well, I don't count by months anymore. I count by deaths. Right, in Brooks County, we lose 5 a month, 5 citizens. That's the average, right? So when you tell me I have to wait 3 months, you're telling me I have to wait for 15 deaths.
And here in Nueces County, health officials are reporting 4 more deaths today. 3 men and 1 woman ranging in age from their 40s, 60s, and 70s. And now the number of lives lost here in Nueces County is at 708. We also have 77 new coronavirus cases to report, bringing our total to more than 37,500. And Governor Greg Abbott may have been in town to praise local efforts to get COVID-19 vaccinations to homebound seniors, but we wanted answers when it comes to the big freeze fiasco. Could it have been prevented? That is the question our Paul Mueller is trying to get answers to. He continues to press the governor for answers. Paul, first, you were in Austin asking him all these questions, and now here today. What did he say? Who is to blame here?
Good question. You know, Katia, it really depends upon who you ask. The governor pointing his finger at ERCOT, saying the agency failed. Others blame the governor, while some energy experts say this dates back to the paralyzing winter storms of 1989 and 2011. Federal and state officials at the time recommending, not mandating, but recommending the infrastructure be winterized. Never happened. Question, why not? Now, all these years later, Governor Abbott promising it will. ERCOT officials saying earlier today they were just minutes away from a catastrophic grid failure that could have left millions of Texans in the dark, not just for days, but for weeks. While the governor continues to blame ERCOT, the question, how about the governor and previous governors who led the state during the 1989 and 2011 paralyzing storms? The governor telling me he's not responsible for what didn't happen, but he is responsible for what he can do now.
Right now, it seems like the blame game is going to ERCOT. They're the ones who are being targeted as, you didn't do what you were supposed to do.
They did the equivalent of slamming on brakes while driving on ice, and it led to a collision that not only shut down multiple thousands of megawatts, but in doing so, that is what led to the immediate additional shutdown of other megawatts of generation power.
And in the last few days, as we have been reporting, several ERCOT board members have resigned. The governor also telling me that before this legislative session ends, there will be a plan in place, he says, to winterize and summarize as well the power infrastructure. Of course, that remains to be seen. Live in the studio tonight, I'm Paul Mueller. Chris 6 News. Katya?
Let's see if all that's going to be put into action. Paul Mueller, thank you for that. And the Texas House, as well as the Senate, holding dual public hearings today on the statewide power failure. Among those testifying was ERCOT's CEO, who said that while he accepted some responsibility, he said ERCOT operators did everything they could. At least 32 people died during that statewide Arctic weather from last week. The vice chair of House Energy Resources Committee broke down as she spoke about some of the victims, including an 11-year-old Harris County boy
who died in his sleep after playing in the snow and returning to his unheated home. Jackie Wen, her home caught fire, resulting in the death of her mother and 3 young children.
And the state has set up a call center to report property damage from the winter storm. Here's the number, write it down, 844-844-3089. We have that information also on our website. The call center is for Texas residents who don't have online access to report damage. Those lines will be open 7 days a week between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. There's an unpleasant reminder of the big freeze in some of our area beaches. We're talking about dead fish, just hundreds of dead fish that are washing up ashore. Port Aransas is one of the many coastal communities that are dealing with this fish kill. Our Travier Gonzalez joins us live from there. And Travier, not only does it not look good, but it looks like it smells pretty bad out there.
There have been some people out here who do have concerns with the smell, but overall over here with the breeze, that has not been a problem. But there are still people coming through here, and even with concerns of these dead fish, that's the problem that's making many people here not want to stay.
It's a beautiful area. It's a shame.
For first-timers on the beach, it's not the experience you would expect. Even on sunnier days, piles of dead fish making the beach a pass-through rather than a destination.
I thought maybe they'd come and clean up the fish because the tide doesn't appear to be taking it back out to sea, and it's getting to be kind of ishy.
The Port Aransas city manager says they've been working to clean their beaches since Monday, but that dead fish continue to wash in with the tides.
We were shocked to see how many dead fish, but it has been a learning experience for us.
Although the fish may not be inviting, the city's Chamber of Commerce says most businesses have since recovered from the record cold snap.
We have seen all of our hotels and lodging properties for the most part come on board, except for those that might have had some interior damages. All the restaurants are back open and ready to serve people.
Back on the beach, whether it's a photo shoot or inspecting what's been washed up, out-of-towners making the most of a situation that just isn't as pretty as it could be.
It's definitely going to cut the time short on the beach, but we're just going to make the best out of it since we are here for a couple of days and just kind of enjoy it while we can.
Now, the bright side to all of this, the city manager here tells me they anticipate their beaches to be completely clear of all of these dead fish by next week for their upcoming spring break. Reporting here in Port Aransas, Travier Gonzalez, Chris 6 News.
All right, let's
Katya?
hope so. All right, Travier Gonzalez, thank you for that. And the city says they have been clearing the beach with rakes and even front-end loaders since Monday.
That's right. Port Aransas is very good about keeping their beaches clean. And you saw the sea fog going on right now with the Travier out there. We did have a little bit of breaks in the overcast, but now the clouds are rolling back in. We have another dense fog advisory in our near and offshore waters till 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. Lion's share of the rain is up here in North and East Texas. We just had a few sprinkles with drizzle and mist. Didn't add up to anything, though, for us. And there are some breaks in the overcast coming here tomorrow. And with that, these temperatures will go even higher. A lot of clouds today and hold us down in the temperature department, but tomorrow we're going up. And what about the weekend? In a few minutes, I'll be back to tell you all about it.
All right, I'm Greg Chandler on the south side of Corpus Christi. Coming up, I'll tell you why parents here at Norellis Elementary School have concerns about arrival and dismissal times.
Welcome back, everyone. Parents at a Southside elementary school are tired of what they are calling a neighborhood nuisance. It's a man who they say harasses students and parents at the school. Our Greg Chandler joins us now live from near Mireles Elementary. And Greg, what are those parents saying that man is doing?
Well, Katya, these parents that I spoke with say that they've seen this man in this area before and after school talking to children. Some have even seen him waving a knife around as recently as yesterday. Some have seen him with an air rifle. They say it's been going on all school year and they are fed up. Now, several parents have taken pictures of this man, including of him talking to children. They say they've seen him on school property, sometimes taking pictures himself, sometimes even carrying a plate of food. Now, parents say the man lives just down the road from Mireles Elementary on Fox Drive. And they say their issues with the man started this school year because there isn't as much of a parent volunteer presence after school. They say they've called police as well as CCISD. Unfortunately, nobody has been able to get him to stop.
When we call the police, they come out, but he's not breaking the law when they're physically there, so they can't arrest him. Same thing for the school. Unless he walks on school property, they say they can't arrest him.
Now, the man has been banned from school property. Today, in response, parents of children here at Mireles Elementary started gathering in front of the school over by the marquee. They say they're going to continue to do so until this problem is resolved. Reporting live on the south side of Corpus Christi, Greg Chandler, Chris 6 News. Katya?
Can't even imagine. All right, thank you for that, Greg. And CCISD Police, by the way, the chief there, Chief Kirby Wernicke, says that his department has assigned officers to be at Mireles before and after school, including in front of the man's backyard. Wernicke says that will continue through at least spring break. And the Kingsville Independent School District is in a tough financial situation. What caused it, and where does the district go from here? You're going to hear from the superintendent right after the break.